As winter draws to a close, people begin preparing for spring, both mentally and physically. Whether it's the annual spring cleaning or if it's the longer days that people look forward to as March marches on, it's a sign of the times that spring equinox is right around the corner, which this year is on March 20th. Mother Nature also has her own way of preparing for spring, and we see that in the form of flowers beginning to sprout and blossom, as well as trees beginning to show their buds. In fact, some flowers actually bloom late in winter, signaling an easy transition between the two seasons. Outdoor plants are generally quite accustomed to a region's climate, which means they're normally in tune with changing weather. Therefore, as daytime temperatures increase through late winter and early spring, the outdoors spring to life, mainly through March and into April. Sometimes volatile weather patterns, such as unseasonable temperatures, can go against a certain region's climate averages. In turn, these events can impact plant life and growth, especially during transition seasons. Much of Pennsylvania has seen well above average temperatures over the past few weeks, so much so that flowers have already begun to start blooming, as well as trees, especially in south central Pennsylvania, already beginning to blossom. With all of this happening, some Pennsylvanians may think that spring may be getting an early start this year. These pre-spring blooms can prove problematic for plants beginning to sprout in a month that can still see cold and snowy conditions. The situation unfolded on March 3rd as snow and a wintry mix fell over State College, Pennsylvania. A landscape that appeared to be transitioning to spring quickly snapped back to winter as snow and ice accumulated on trees and grassy surfaces. Blooming trees and blossoming flowers are extremely vulnerable to wintry weather and cold snaps, and can suffer serious damage in such conditions. A phenomenon called dieback occurs when a plant or parts of a plant are killed by freezing conditions from the tip inward. It's most common during early cold snaps in autumn and late freezes near spring equinox, as plants and flowers are either still living or just beginning to bloom. This March may prove catastrophic for plants that seem to have jumped from winter to spring, as anomalously cold conditions are expected to grip Pennsylvania for the majority of the month. With the threat of tree and flower damage due to the chance of cold weather later this month, there are some ways to prevent plant dieback. One way you can prevent flower damage during cold snaps is to place mulch around the base of your plant. Now, this allows soil temperature to hover a few degrees above the air temperature, which can really come to play in scenarios where air temperature drops to near freezing. Now, another way you can prevent flower damage during cold snaps is to place a covering or a plastic bag over your small plant or flower, and this will shield it from the cold air temperatures as well as potential wintry precipitation. For Whether or Not, I'm Kyle Eck.